Hello there folks, hope you're all doing well. I'm just out for a walk in the woods. Thought I'd make a nice little video log just to say hello and that. Yeah, I've been offline for a few weeks because I'm still waiting for the internet service provider to connect me. It's been over 8 weeks now and I've got no telephone, no internet. Just keep going to a friend's house once a week and uploading this stuff, so I'm very limited to possibilities with the interaction and stuff. But in a way, in a different way, that the time off, it's the first time I've been offline for probably 10 years. Give me a long time to think, especially now that internet's become so common. You can't really avoid using the internet for something. And so making these videos once a week's been a different kind of thing to when I first started the channel. I had instant access. I could upload a video and instantly see what comments were written. And now I get to see the comments pretty much a week later, sometimes longer. And that leads to all kinds of confusion. So I've had to kind of consider how to change what I'm doing so that it works on a weekly basis rather than a daily basis. And yeah, I've been considering what my channel's all about really. Why did I put it online? What am I trying to say? And when I first started it, I started it mainly because I could, because it was possible, because I had internet and a camera, and it's quite easy to make video logs and stuff. And so it just began, and it began as an experiment. But what I wanted to do with the channel was to test things, to experience myself, how it felt like to be a video maker, how all of the ins and outs and how it feels, and getting subscribers and, you know, getting videos popular and all these different aspects. And also, you know, how much should I estimate, overestimate, underestimate the audience? And I really wanted to kind of speak from my heart, from my own truth. I notice on television, most of the people on television are getting paid to act or to report. And so they're under this, you know, their life's at stake, their livelihood, you know, their rent money is at stake. And so they're obviously not going to just sort of take risks speaking things that are their own truths. They're going to be saying things that are written on a script, you know. All the actors just read off a script. And so that's one of the things I wanted to avoid, is I wanted to just present me as a human being. And as being as, you know, I am me, I'm the only human being that I can present. I just, you know, it seemed to be obvious to make that effort. And I wanted to make something that you can feel, you know, something that's got some passion in it, something that takes risks, that makes you feel something. You know, so that we can see that emotions are a perception. Emotions are a perception. You know, we tend to get used to reacting on our emotions, that we feel bad or feel good, and then away we go. Whereas when emotions become perceptions, then you can start to be reasonable about the way you react and act to your own emotions, because often they're not really your own emotions, they're just there like perceptions, like awarenesses, a sensory perception. You know, and I've got a lot of things to say, but I mean, I got a nice little message from a new subscriber who said they weren't sure whether my channel was just the ramblings of a madman. And I really like that, you know. I thought, you know, I'm just pretty much a madman, really, and these are just ramblings, you know. And I don't really want anyone to take them seriously, you know. I don't want anyone to think I'm just talking rubbish or just reciting something else, but, you know, to take them seriously is just as dangerous. So I thought a lot about that, ramblings of a madman, you know. Because at the end of the day, I realise, you know, I'm a broken person. I'm a broken soul. I've been broken since a long time. I mean, I had good parents and they did what they could for me, but school broke me and the government broke me and the mainstream media confused and broke my mind. And I've always found it hard to accept authority, especially when authorities act in a way, in an irrational way. I can't deal with that. You know, like in school, I had the ability to just get off school, just to run away, you know, play truant, just get away. And I kind of thought back then that's how the system run. You know, if you can dodge the system, if you can break the rules and not get caught, that's how the system runs. I see now as we progress and modern technology comes in and makes it more and more possible to be observed and surveillance and everything, that even the kids at school just can't get off school now without being chased. So there's no room left for even that kind of freedom, you know, the self-victorious, like, you know, freedom, the risks and everything, you know, it just doesn't appear to me to be an option. People become slaves to authority without even questioning the authority. And you know, like I was saying, I'm a bit of a broken person. I can't get a job for something where the authority, you know, the boss is just, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think a lot of people are like that. They just can't imagine themselves getting a day job, especially with what they know and what they feel. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going out on the internet. But at the end of the day, you know, people generally say, you know, about conspiracy theories, there's no way that one group of people could rule the world, or such a big organisation can have such effect. But then when I look at government, I think most people seem to kind of accept that government has the say on everything. So really, most people are a part of the conspiracy of the normals. And the things I've got to say on this channel come out of realising a lot of things that I've researched and a lot of things that I've looked at over the years, especially in the mainstream media, and common myths and stuff are just not true, just simply physically and not true, at least for me. And so I try and put them in videos to try and, not to try and tell something, but tell it away, to explain it away. You know, to explain away the misconceptions, you know. It's okay having a book and reading it and thinking that you understand, but not questioning that and not actually reasoning with it in your head. You know, if you was to say you can mix petrol with flour and make a brilliant food, you know, you just can't do some things, can you? You know, it's obvious if you think about it. You know, 2 and 2 equals 4. And if you get a book that says 2 and 2 equals 5 and you don't question it, then you'll obviously think about that for the rest of the time. But deep down inside, I've got a lot of grudges towards the government, mainstream media, and religion and school and everything. So, and I do sometimes like let that out. You know, it does come out in my videos, and I don't know if it's intimidating. I don't mean to hurt anybody. I really apologise if anybody's like upset for something I've said. You know, there's a probability that you've kind of misunderstood it if that's the case. But I know I probably can be quite maybe intimidating in a way. But that's just kind of a pledge of my honesty to you, that I trust you as the audience. I don't want to underestimate you. You know, I come out and I'm quite level when I come out walking, and I do decide to get passionate about something on purpose, and then I do decide to upload it. So it's there so you can feel, and not just see and hear, but I want you to be able to feel my human experience. I think a lot of us feel the same. I've always felt this way, and I think a lot of people come into this way of feeling. and I don't like to talk about it, but if nobody does, then I feel that we're going in a direction that I don't want to go. So I'm doing it out of a selfish reason. I want to save myself, and obviously want to save my friends, and that, if that means saving society from itself, then I don't mind taking that risk. It's quite adventurous. It's much better than playing video games or trying to climb the social ladder. You know, to me, life is like a rock climb. Life is like free climbing. You can choose to climb up the social ladder, or you can just free climb on the face, either solo or with friends. And, you know, the social ladder to me has been just as dangerous. You know, it's the rungs are weak and people stand on your head and push you aside, and the view is good but not as good as if you climb out onto the edge. But when you climb out onto the edge, you've got less and less people to be there for you. You know, because most of the people then choose to climb the social ladder. And so I come out and I make these videos. I try and find topics that interest me and maybe interest you. And but I often wonder whether I should just, you know, not make these videos and what it's for. I don't know. I'll still make them. I'll still carry on making them. But more and more I realise that, you know, if I've got so much energy, so much passion, so much anger as well, and optimism, then that needs channeling properly. That needs channeling properly. And I need to kind of like feel around, you know, who's gonna be upset by that. You know, when I talk about religion and when I talk about social and domestic kind of realms and stuff, you know, who's going to get offended by that? Who am I offending, and how much of a target am I making myself just for no reason? You know, it gets stupid. But like I say, a lot of us, we just don't want to get that normal social ladder. We don't want to get that day job. We're kind of sick of the government. Sick of the government with its stupidity, you know. And I don't see why politicians can't just get a YouTube channel like this, just walk around in the woods themselves and just talk their truth. You know, I can see reasons why they don't do it, but my God, when they get on television and talk, it's just lies, you know. And in one business where they shouldn't tell lies is politics. You know, it's about talking, it's about their voice representing thousands or millions of people. But yeah, that's another video. Yeah. But the YouTube experience has been very strange, and I'm still kind of dealing with it. You know, every few months they change the format. At the moment, it's just insane. If someone shares a video with me, it doesn't appear in my YouTube channel. It secretly goes to my old email box that I never look in because it's a spam box. You know, so amongst all of this spam, it's like reading 20 magazines to find some anonymous like message saying, "Oh, you've got a video message from somebody," and it might be quite an important video message, and then I don't see it. Same as subscribers. I don't see when I've got a new subscriber. I see it on my numbers, and then I have to go and log into my spam email account and check through them all, find out who's like subscribed, and then I know. You know, but as the video makers know, the subscribers list it's a random list. You can't see who's added or anything, and it's stupid. And the other really wacky, stupid fucking thing is the comments don't come up, all of them, in my inbox. You know, I'll get like 3 comments when there's like, say, 10. And that's stupid then. You know, if it says to me I've got 3 comments and I read them all, how do I know I haven't got 30 scattered amongst my channel? So half of them are getting ignored. I don't know, maybe I should contact YouTube on that one, because it's gonna cause massive confusion. I think a lot of the YouTube and Facebook kind of flame wars, you know, comment fights and stuff, come from presumptions, you know, from this people not getting a full message, or there's a lot of reasons for it, but I don't know, somehow it can drive you crazy, and that's what I need to address, as well as finding finding a line between publishing videos and answering messages, because I love to read the comments. I really do like getting comments. But if there's anything important, just send us a personal message. And yeah, good. That's all. I'm just going to leave it there for now. And I just want to say I appreciate you being on this channel and giving me the time and reading between my lines. And I hope you can get something out of the things that I say. If you've got any ideas or questions or things you'd like to know or talk about, just send me a personal message. You know, I'm open to a lot of different themes, and I like that. You know, often I don't know what to talk about really. I could talk about anything. There's so much on my mind, so much of importance. Yeah, it's hard to end these videos. So I'll just say thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you soon, take care of yourselves. Cheerio.